Welcome to yet another episode of the Safari Mania podcast with Felix Migoya. It's really an honor to be here and to listen to some of the questions that he has and to just discuss the tourism situation in this country. My name is Daniel Mbogwa. I'm the chairman of the Tour Operator Society of Kenya. I hope this interview will be incentive enough for what's going on as a situation in this country in tourism.
Now that you've mentioned travel agency and also the process of booking a tour or booking a reservation, we've had cases in the country of briefcase operators who swindle guests, and then a guest books safari or a tour with a fictitious company without knowing it's fictitious, of course. And then when they land at the airport, there is no show, nobody's coming to pick them up, and then they start crying foul. So, in your opinion, I know your members are fully registered. What would you suggest for the authorities or the regulating authorities to do with these briefcase operators who are, or we call them ghost operators, who are operating, yes, but they're doing more damage than good?
Easy, and that's what I'm saying. I wish we would be sat at a table,
yes,
because solutions are very easy.
Yeah.
Our regulator is called the Tourism Regulatory Authority.
Yes.
So if you don't have a license from them, you shouldn't operate.
Yeah.
But briefcase operators exist. We know them, they know them. Why not come up with on their website,
yes,
have blacklisted tour operators? If I write there, Felix Migoya Tours and Travel,
yes,
if you manage to con a client, then it's that client who didn't do due diligence. But if today you asked a client to do due diligence on a tour operator in Kenya, how do they do the due diligence?
Do you think there are some loopholes which are enabling these briefcase operators to exist and also operate freely?
I think so. The regulator does a lot,
yes,
and they keep having meetings on how they can improve, tightening up the loopholes so they don't happen. Assuming you're licensed,
yes,
and you've gone through all the licensing and training you need,
yes,
and I'm not. If I can go to Toyota Kenya and buy a car, I can write an email to guests. They will come in, I'll pick them up and drive them on the roads,
yes,
without anyone stopping me to check whether I'm a licensed driver or qualified. I'll go into a hotel, I'll book, again, without anyone checking whether I have TRA or not. I'll go through the park without anyone checking whether I have training on going for game drives. And it's as simple as just giving an instruction to KWS. Let anyone who comes in with a vehicle be licensed. No one is doing that. Tell the hotels, let every booking done come from somebody who's TRA certified. Yeah. No one is doing that. So if these loopholes, which is an instruction only from government, if these loopholes can actually be done. Right now we're actually having a problem on the roads. We are seeing accidents happening that have never happened before. When I grew up, I'd never seen a tour vehicle in an accident. Now it's happening. Why? Because there's no one checking whether these drivers driving these vehicles are regulated or not. So if those loopholes could be done, I think we'd be in a better place.
It's good to also point out our failures and also our successes. In terms of tourism training and service delivery, do you think we are at par? And what I mean by that, all the stakeholders, from tour guides, from hotel service industry, do you think we are up in our game, or we need improvement?
I think the one thing that puts Kenya at an advantage,
yes,
is we're very hospitable people,
yes,
as a culture. So because of that, training somebody to be of service is very easy. We're also very courteous and warm people, which is a big part of hospitality and of service.
So that's a big plus to the
It's a big plus
players.
already, yes. That just comes natural.
By virtue of being a Kenyan.
By virtue of just being a Kenyan,
That's good to
we
hear.
qualify.
Yes.
And then we have big brands like JW Marriott,
yes,
who are coming to open their brands here.
Yes, yes.
And they're actually doing it in several places. For them to be doing that, they have seen the potential.
Oh, yes.
And because they'll come in, they'll also bring in a standard, which is world recognized,
yes,
which again is another plus for us. Yeah, so I think that as a topic, I don't think we have a problem there, apart from maybe the fact that some people will employ relatives,
yes,
more than higher qualified people. which again is a culture problem. But I think generally we are hospitable, and with a little training we're able to treat our guests very well.
Now that you've mentioned investment, you are bringing me to one of the questions that I wanted to ask you in terms of investment, promotion, and financing. Now you've said about big corporations coming in like JW Marriott, and they're investing. In terms of that investment, do you think that they're investing in underutilized destinations, or are they investing in prime destinations, or they're also investing in areas which are not utilized much? Because as we talked earlier, we need to expand our tourism cake, and by expanding tourism cake, we need to diversify our products. We need to get out of the normal touristic circuit and move to other destinations which are equally beautiful, but there is very minimum investment. Let's talk about Meru National Park. Let's talk about the Northern Circuit. There is very little investment in Loyangalani, for example. In Meru National Park, there are quite a few lodges and hotels, probably two, I think. Let's talk about Kakamega Forest. There's only, I think, one. So do you think we need investment in such kind of destinations? Or is there incentives that the government can provide to lure investors to invest in those areas?
Investors will always be there. Investors will always be ready to spend their money and come in. Regulations and taxes are the biggest hindsight we have as a country.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to have very deep pockets to actually come in. Because if JW Marriott is coming in, they have seen the potential the country has.
Yes, that's true.
But they can't do everything.
Yeah.
For them, they also have to go to a place where they know they'll get return on investment.
Yes.
But there are many other people out there in their capacity who would also wish to come.
Yes.
But how friendly is the business environment in the country today?
Okay, and they're limited by the taxation.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So if our leaders could sit down and look at how do we bring in the money,
Yes.
how can we ease up some rules and regulations to allow international investors to come in? Because from experience right now, international investors are leaving.
Mm-hmm.
True?
It's a sad state of affairs, yes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, and anyone to invest does research. Why would you want to go into a place people are living?
That's true.
Yeah. So, but it all lies on the people who make decisions in this country. Yeah.
Do you think you, as a tour operator, are you given room to give your input in terms of policy making and tourism planning?
We have 3 or 4 very strong associations. Do we give input? Yes. Is anything done about that?
Probably
No.
Probably not.
So what's the point of putting the input?
So we're just piling up beautiful papers, and then they're left to go.
Yeah, we'll have meetings.
Yes.
We'll have meetings. They'll bring in association heads.
Yes.
We'll have conversations on what needs to be changed.
Yes.
We'll give beautiful papers like the document you're talking about,
Yes.
and then it shall be filed.
And then that will be the end of it.
Yeah.
And in the East African tourist region, we have a competing destination, or we have competing destinations. That is Tanzania. It's one of our biggest competitor. And just recently, they concluded the tourism awards. They won, I think, one of the best destinations, Serengeti. Uganda is also a competing market, though not as large as Tanzania. And from what we see online and from what we see physically on the ground, Tanzania is catching up pretty fast in terms of tourism numbers. Should we be afraid, or?
Okay. Tanzania is not catching up. Tanzania has overtaken us.
They have overtaken us, literally.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
We are targeting 2.5,
Yes,
maybe 3 million.
maybe 3 million. Yes.
Tanzania is at 5 million.
Yeah. And do you think that tourism is seasonal as ours?
No.
Which should not be the case, actually.
No. Why? Because the government is helping the tour operators,
Yes.
not the visitors. You'll see the president doing a game drive
Yes.
and market that internationally.
Oh yeah, that was a very genius and very shrewd
Exactly.
marketing strategy.
Exactly. So
I can,
they bring in international superstars.
Yes.
Will Smith goes there. They make a lot of noise. International superstars, Hollywood superstars come here.
Yes.
Do we talk about it?
No, we don't talk about it.
I mean, I saw a Maasai
Yeah.
posting a picture of is it a striker or a football player
Oh yes.
in the league,
Yes, actually, that was a tour guide. I know him. I saw the photo as well.
So how does a person like that come into the country? And we know about it because a Maasai took a picture.
Yes. Those are opportunities that we need to capitalize on. Increase our publicity and also market our destination.
How many people know that Maasai? So how many people do not even know that he actually came?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. And it's the Gen Z we're talking about. They have the power. If that person came in and we went on Twitter and talked about that guy coming in, how many more people would have learned of Kenya as a destination?
Yeah.
Tanzania does that very well. And again, I'll go back to, where do they allow people to book hotels directly? The booking will still be done.
Yes.
That client will still go to that hotel, whether they book directly or through a travel agent.
Yes.
Empower the travel agent so that he has money to market Kenya.
Yes.
Then you have the numbers you're getting.
One last thing I remember before I forget. We know that airlines also contribute largely to tourism arrivals and also passenger traffic into the country. And one of the the stooges that we've been facing is our visa protocol or visa regime. And the president introduced an e-visa regime. As a tour operator, do you think, the idea might be good, but is it working?
If people want to go to a destination,
yes,
visa delays are a problem, but they will not necessarily stop them. Okay? I don't want to blame the government for introducing that, though we have seen it has a lot of glitches, which I know the government is working on. So yes. So the government is working. Yes, there will be glitches, but the government is working. Introducing it was a good idea because it made things easy.
Yeah.
So we can't always fault the government. But we just need to make Kenya an attractive enough place that despite these glitches, people want to come. And I'll give you an example. If you've driven in Gigiri, American Embassy area in the morning,
yes,
you'll get thousands of Kenyans lining up to pay, is it about 20,000 shillings? For a visa opportunity to go to the US.
Yeah.
They'll be denied.
Yeah.
They'll go and apply again.
Yes.
Be denied and go again. What are they going to do in America?
Yeah.
They don't even know.
Yeah.
But it's called the land of opportunity.
Yes.
America have painted themselves as a place where you go and succeed.
Yes.
It is in our heads.
Yeah.
So anyone who finishes university wants to go to the US. Yeah. Despite knowing that you might go suffer, I'll pay 20,000 shillings and line up, go be denied, and then try again and again and again. The Kenyan visa is about 4,000 or 5,000 shillings.
Yes.
So the glitches are there. The system is slow. They are working on it. But if it was attractive enough to come to Kenya, then I don't think that would be an excuse for us having low numbers.
Let's talk about the open skies policy. Recently, I think I saw in the papers that Doha has been given landing rights to operate from directly to Mombasa, that is international. And then I think Kenya Airways is now landing at Gatwick. I'm not really sure about that. But the open skies policy, many of the practitioners in the tourism industry have been urging the government to open up our skies, as an ingredient to increase visitors' numbers into the country. What is your take on that?
Mohamed Harsi is famous for speaking about tourism in this country.
He's been advocating for open sky policy.
He's the biggest speaker.
Memorial.
But he's not seated at the table. He's not in government.
Yes.
Why can't we make him a minister? Like he has the numbers. He knows what he's talking about. Yeah. Now, yes, it's limiting us in very many ways, and that's one way that our neighbors are taking advantage of.
Yeah, sure. Now, as we are closing our episode, Safari Mania episode, I want to urge every stakeholder in the tourism industry to play his part or his role in the tourism business and ensure that we attain the tourism numbers that we desire in the 2025 tourism year. Thank you.